DFoshiz.
Hey you guys, welcome back again to my channel. This is D, and I am currently building in the world of Windenburg. I have built a Haussmannian apartment, and I am currently going in and furnishing the upper apartment, which I have made for I might mispronounce this, the Bjergen family, the Bjergsen family. They're a pre-made family that comes with the Sims 4 Get Together expansion pack. And in that you have Bjorn, Bjergsen, who is the father. You have Clara, you have Sophia, and you have Elsa. And I really kept them in mind while I was building this. And so you see, I already started to come in. I've done the flooring. I did the layout already. If you haven't seen my last build that I put on, is I went out and I showed you how I built the shell. It was such a big build, so I figured I'd do this in two parts. This apartment is 2 floors, and then there is an apartment below that is only 1 floor. I'm currently leaving it unfurnished, but I will probably come back and furnish it. And as you can see, I've already come in. I've selected the wallpapers that I wanted to use. I figured I'd go for more of a modern look on this, like a modern. I feel like if like lots of French apartments, like my favorite look is this, like you have an old apartment, but like the inside is just like the outside is like very like classic, and the inside is classic. You have the chandeliers that are classic, you have the detailings that are classic, but then the furniture is very modern and up to date. I like that style, that the French eclectic style. So I kind of went with that, but definitely on the more modern side in terms of like the wallpaper. Well, I guess it's more of a paint, but like, and definitely the furnishings. And then the apartment below, I might keep more classic, or I might do the same thing. I just don't know who I want to live there yet. So, and again, keep an open. I wanted to keep an open apartment. In every build, if I'm building an apartment, I like to keep one open apartment so that you guys can do what you want with it. But again, I will probably go and furnish it once I figure out who I want to live in there. But yeah, it took me so long to furnish this apartment. It's 2 floors, and the outside was really big. This is one of 3 builds that I did in this part of. In my game, it's called Old Platts. I don't know if my game is also in French. If you can see, my game is. I've been studying French, and I've pretty much bilingual at this point. I've been learning since 2018, and then I spent a lot of time in France. I was actually there during the pandemic when the borders closed, and so I mean, I couldn't complain that I was stuck in France, but I really had a good time while I was there. And I actually got to stay there for 3 months during the pandemic, which was really wonderful. There were no tourists around. I just got to like walk around as much as we could walk around, and I got to see my friends. And yeah, I have lots of friends out there, and so it was really nice to come in and make an homage to them. And yeah, I really enjoyed coming back to Windenburg and building. And yeah, I recently I mentioned that I feel like I built these buildings before, and I built this apartment before we even had apartments. Again, I built this during the pandemic. I think I did it all with CC, and because those were the only, I feel like that's all the only way I could get the look that I wanted, like the Parisian look. But now that we have these windows from the Royalty and Legacy pack, I just think they're so beautiful, the columns. And yeah, just go back and look at the where I built the shell of this apartment building, and you'll just be able to see like how decadent I was able to make the facade of the building. I'm just very happy with how all of that looks. But now going into the furnishing, again, this just took me a very, very long time. I can't even tell you how many rooms are in, like how many, yeah, rooms are in this build. But it was a big apartment. I wanted to make sure that you were able to use every single piece of it. It is a trek to get to this apartment from the street, but like you have time. I think it's worth it. Um, and downstairs there is a yoga studio, and there is uh, a a thrift store, like a fancier kind of thrift store. There's a boulangerie, and there's a little garden store as well. But as you can see in this build, I did make use of the, oh my gosh, the, I don't know what that little kit is called, but it's one of the CC Creator kits that we got with these couches, and of course this rug. I think probably one of my favorite rugs from the base game. It's just sometimes it just comes in handy. I love it, and but yeah, oh my, what is that pack called? Like it's not a modern. I kind of want to call it like what's that? Anyway, I'm not going to be able to think of a name of that pack, but it's one of the CC Creator packs. It's not the living room from, I think that's Felix Andre and Hey Harry who made that CC pack. But it kind of gave me those vibes of the living room pack by Felix Andre. I did Parisian-Sims make it? Somebody made it. And thank you so much for making that. I did invest my hard-earned dollars to buy that pack, because it's just nice to have that caliber of furnishings, and like those caliber of furnishings in the Sims. Like, just the CC creators know what they're doing, and it's just such a relief to have their work in the game. Yes, it costs money, but sometimes it is worth it just to have the look that you want. Though again, I am not against playing with CC. I love playing with CC. I will do CC builds. I just don't like uploading them, but maybe I will, now that I'm video recording, I might actually build more with CC and start to upload those as well, so that you can have them. And as I'm learning about what it means to be a builder, and a builder who uploads their content onto YouTube, I am, still interested in seeing what this journey is going to be. This is the third video that I've made so far. But back into the build, I wanted to cater this to, again, the Bjergsen family. I don't know how to pronounce that, but that family that came with the expansion pack get together, and everyone has so many interests, and so I wanted to, make sure that everyone was seen. Sophia, the teenage girl, she is a musician and like a savant in her musicality. So I made sure that I wanted a piano to be in here. I wanted there to be, and she's going to have like a guitar in her room. I wanted that somebody, Bjorn is part of the Good Timers, and he's also in the part of the garden club as well. I don't know what it's called right now. And so as you would have seen in the living room area, I don't know if I did it yet, but in the living room area I did put one of those, it's kind of like a Zen garden thing that, I haven't put it in there yet, but it's like a little garden that I think it comes with base game, and you could just like plop it in, and your Sims can learn a little gardening skill from it. I don't use it often, but it's actually, I feel like I've used it at least in two builds, in two builds in this land. What is it? In this neighborhood? Yeah, two builds in this neighborhood so far. And so, let's see. And then you have his wife. What's her name? It is Clara. Clara, she's a part of the upper crusts, like the people who eat. And then she's also a member of the Powerhouse Club. I actually forgot that she was a part of the Powerhouse Club, but good for her. I think I have to adjust like where people show up at, but yeah, I wanted to give her a very nice kitchen. And again, like this bar area is for Bjorn, and like say when his friends come over for the Good Timers, they have a place to drink, and maybe even Clara makes the drinks and makes snacks for them. And this part was starting to look a little weird, so I ended up moving it in and having the bar inset into the wall instead. I thought it looked so much better. And here I am adding a little chandelier and some art on the walls. Um, and yeah, and then I can tell you about Sophia. Sophia's the teenager. Then you have Elsa. Elsa is the youngest of in this household, and she is like a little genius, and she is the leader actually of the Adventurers Club, and yeah, like she has lots of um, like science things in her room and lots of activities in there. Her room is the smallest, but it is very cute. And I was able to stuff, it was like an awkward, you'll see, it's like an awkward position in where her room was. And definitely wanted Sophia to have the larger room since she's a teenager. Though, granted, if I make a save file, I think I'll actually probably age her up to a young adult so that she's like in college because she's a part of the models. And currently, and if you don't know what the Crazy Horse is, it's basically like the Moulin Rouge, but if you've ever seen Beyonce's Partition music video, it's basically that. Like, Beyonce basically took the Crazy Horse show and made a music video out of it. And I have seen the performance at the Crazy Horse, and so it's the only cabaret show I've seen in Paris. So I just wanted to give an homage to my time in the things I know in France. And yeah, a bit of good news outside of the build. Currently, I'm trying to do the entryway. I was just going to put the flower table in there, but then I was like, maybe like a seating area would be nice. Like, so like you could put on your shoes, take off your shoes. I put a little closet in front just in case the models came over and wanted to hang out and have a little place to, I don't know, go into the closet. I think that's one of the activities that they do. And the adventurers love the closet as well. So I just wanted to make sure I had one of those functional closets. But outside of this build, I guess just give you guys some news on my life. Some things have just I booked a little role in a movie, which is really exciting. It's my first movie that I've ever done. I'm supposed to be coming up I'll be on Law and Order very soon. That I filmed that a couple weeks ago. And yeah, I'm shooting my first movie. I got the call yesterday, and I'm supposed to be there on Tuesday. And then, in another good news, I just booked my seventh Broadway show. Currently on Broadway, there is a revival of Cats the musical, and I'm going to be there temporarily because they just need somebody really quickly, and I've kind of been on their short list as I had been in for the show and I got a really nice note saying that just like not for that current moment, and I'm the person that they need right now to come in. And so you never know with these acting things how things are going to go, and I'm very grateful. Yeah, it was frustrating at first not getting it because like having that job would have been incredible. But I'm very grateful I didn't. Like during that time, I've been able to do this. I've been able to build in The Sims, and I've been able to start doing voiceovers. And it's something that I've always wanted to do, and so it's so nice to finally be able to do it. And so I'm grateful that I have the time to, and that I've started, and so I want to continue to do so. And I've also written. And I can't help but think that if I would have gotten the show before, that I would never have written any of the things that I had been writing. And so I've written this year. I've written 3 plays and a TV pilot. So and in the TV pilot, one of the characters plays The Sims, and so it's fun to kind of have that in there. And here I am. I am back into the build real quick. I was starting to do editing, like adding the details of the walls, and then I realized I needed to move them to make it look better. And sorry, I'm moving the camera a lot right now as I'm kind of going back and forth trying to fix things and make things look even on both sides. And so, yeah, just bear with me on that. Thank you. But yeah, I it's been a kind of a crazy 2 days. I think it was, in terms of cats, I I was on my, what was I doing? I went to go see a friend in a show called Two Strangers Carry a Cake Across New York. I ended up winning the lottery, so I got to go see the matinee. I'd been meaning to see it because I wanted to go see my friend who's in that show. And then I got a call from my agent there, and they're like, "Hey, Cats, they need you to basically rap." And so I did a little rap for, like, I got home after the show and I did a little rap so they could, hear me improv. Because I don't know if you guys heard about it, but it's very ballroom inspired. So it's a whole room based on ballroom culture. And so yeah, I'm excited. I haven't seen it yet. I'm supposed to go see it tonight before I start rehearsals on Monday. And here I am just moving the camera around again as I try to figure out what I'm doing. But yeah, and then what else happened? Yeah, then I got the phone call. Was that Wednesday? That was Wednesday. And then yesterday, so I sent that video in. And then on Wednesday, like, they needed it as soon as possible. And then yesterday, Thursday, I got a call from one of I like my agency. There were like a couple of them, and so I got a phone call, and then they were like, "Yeah, that movie that you auditioned for, you booked the part in it, so they need you there on Tuesday." So I have that coming up, and that was really, I kind of came out of the blue, and then was it this morning? This morning, like at 9 a.m. I got a phone call, and I mean this morning as in Friday, as of Friday, April 3rd. I am recording this right now. I will probably upload this today before I go to the theater. So I am talking in real time. But yeah, I got a call this morning at 9 a.m. and it was from my agent. I was like, why is he calling me at 9 a.m.? And he was like, hey, so Cats, they want you to, they have these videos of you singing in this style. They want you to re-record you singing them, in just a different, just singing it a different way. And so I was like, okay, I guess I will do that. I was like, I just got to wake up first. So I took a shower. I warmed up while I was taking a shower, and then I came in, and fortunately I remembered I did that audition in like November of last year. And so thankfully the words all came back, and I got it to them before 10 o'clock, I believe. And then I went to the gym, and then I went to go get a haircut because I was like, this is might turn into a crazy weekend. I don't know what's going on. And so I went to get my haircut. And then while I was getting my haircut, and it's funny, when I booked Law and Order, I was getting my haircut. So maybe that was me just trying to be like, all right, so let me see if I can, make it happen again. So I went and got my haircut. And while I was sitting in the chair, I got a phone call from an agent saying that I'm going to be in Cats the musical on Broadway, and I basically need to be there tonight. And it's not the first time that's ever happened to me. I've done another Broadway show where they called me the day before and were like, hey, and I had been in for those auditions. This is for Back to the Future, actually. And I went in for the auditions for the original Broadway cast, and then they called me in for the tour. Neither of those worked out. And then I got a random call, and they were like, hey, can you be at the theater tomorrow at 11:30? And I was like, sure. And so then I was on Broadway. It was just kind of crazy. So it's just interesting that it happens again. So I am really grateful. This will be my 7th Broadway show that I've been a part of, and it's been a really cool journey to. one was enough, but it's so nice to be part of the community and the Broadway community. And again, I'm so excited to be a part of a show that is seems to be very revolutionary. And as you see right now in the build, I am currently in the kitchen. It's Sophia's kitchen. I use a lot of, well, that the I really do love this like shelf from the Royalty and Legacy pack, and it's around somewhere around here is when I finally found on the outside. You'll notice that currently there are these balconies from that the My Wedding Stories pack that I used, because I couldn't find the uh, the I noticed in a video there were these balconies from uh, a video that I was watching on YouTube of someone else building. And I realized that there were these balconies from the Love Struck expansion pack, and I could not find them and it's interesting, they're not, I finally found them while I was building this kitchen, which is kind of crazy. And here I am doing a little trick. I did this I had this idea when I did the Parisian Corner apartment, where I used this mirror it's from the Spa Day expansion pack because I like the lighting around it. And so I put it as the backboard. And here I am using the tool mod to kind of get it in place. Yeah, I found um, the balcony while I was doing this kitchen. So then I had to exit the game. Well, not to exit the game, but I exit this build and went around all of the other buildings and just edited the exteriors of those with the new balconies that I finally found. But yeah, they're not in the exterior wall decorations. They're in the interior shelf category, which is kind of crazy because I believe they belong outside. But that's a Sims problem, not a me problem. Just know that they're there and they're the perfect balconies for these Haussmannian buildings. Um, but yeah, this is, yeah, that's the kitchen I wanted to be. You'll see that with a lot of French Parisian buildings or like apartments. They like to have these, like, I don't know, like very modern, like the kitchens are just like white and plain, and but like very modern. And yeah, it can be really pretty. I love the French eclectic style. My own apartment is the French eclectic style. Maybe I'll actually do a build. I need to do that anyways. But record a build of my, like, how I actually furnish my apartment, which I did in The Sims before I laid it out. And I used custom content by I think Felix Andre and Hey Harry. Their custom content is pretty much the only one I use, just because I just know where it is, and it's like limited to these two creators. But I love Felix Andre's stuff. Like, Felix Andre is, I mean, I feel like is the king. I know there are other creators, many other creators, but I just like to limit my CC intake. And but I definitely fell in love with Felix Andre, and then through Felix Andre I found Hey Harry, and they kind of seem like a package deal to me. This is not an ad for them. It's just, I'm just speaking of my creative process. But yeah, I and here I am just cluttering the kitchen. Not too much. I didn't want to do too much in the kitchen because I feel like Clara would have a very clean kitchen, like very prim and proper. Like I felt like they definitely have a maid. Like, in my gameplay, I definitely have them have a maid, or like maybe I shouldn't say maid. I feel like that has, like, a female connotation, but they have someone coming to clean the house for them. That's exactly what I want to say. Someone coming to clean the house for them on a daily basis. But I feel like Clara would just want to have a clean kitchen, so I wanted to give that to her. Um, but yeah, sorry, back to me, in my life. But yeah, it's just kind of crazy. Like, it's been definitely an interesting turn of events. I'm now trying to figure out. It's interesting. Opening night for Cats is on Tuesday, and the movie I'm shooting, the scene that I'm shooting for the movie, I also shoot on Tuesday. So I'm like, Will I be able to make it to the party in time? Because I feel like the opening night party is going to be lit. Like, I think it's going to be the party of the year, and I want to go. The only thing is, like, I have to find a look. And so, because the looks on that red carpet, the looks at the after party, I still got to figure it out if I'm part of the opening night, like red carpet and stuff. I just don't know. I'm so new. I've done openings for Broadway before, but like because it's next week and I'm just now starting, I just don't know what the vibe is going to be. So hopefully I will figure that out soon. I'll go to the theater tonight, but I just don't know. There's a lot of stuff I don't know. I don't even know. I don't know the music to Cats. I kind of know the jingles. I know about Cats. I saw the last revival that happened. I just don't get it. I don't get Cats, but I think I'm gonna learn. I'm probably gonna love it after this experience. Because I remember watching it. I had lots of friends in it. I was like, they're doing such a great job, but I just don't know what's happening. And I've never done the show before. I don't really know the music except the bit that I've learned. I actually was supposed to. I auditioned for the last tour of Cats that went out, and because Andy Blankenbuehler, who is the choreographer for Hamilton, was doing it, so I just kind of wanted to be in the room for him. And so I went and I actually booked it. I was supposed to cover Monkey Strap and Rum Tug Tugger, which I am actually going to be covering them. I'm going to be understudying them on Broadway in this Broadway version. So I'm glad I get to like actually do them. But I booked it, but then I was covering some other cats as well. And then I called a friend who did the Broadway version, and she was like, don't do it. My friend was like, you will be so good understudying those roles, but don't do it out on tour. And I had done a tour before already, and she was just like, she was telling me it was going to be a lot of work and like my body. And so I took my friend's advice and I did not accept the tour. And I'm glad the show's kind of come around again for me. Like, it's such a classic Broadway show, and I'm looking forward to get to know it. But back to the build really quickly. You saw that I finished the kitchen area, and now I'm up here, right up. It's like right above the living room, I guess if you want to call it, on the first floor. We come upstairs, and there's not like it's basically just bedrooms up here. But I wanted to give Bjorn a like little office. So and also like a place for if so they don't have to go all the way downstairs to watch TV. Just like a little place where the family can gather upstairs, um, and also like so Bjorn could have like a space for his computer. Bjorn is actually wildly enough a secret agent, which I think is so crazy. So I didn't give him like a special room or anything. I feel like he just does most of his stuff at work, but that is also probably why they have such a big apartment, because he is a secret agent. And so yeah, I end up this ends up being way like I in my gameplay, it's not recorded, but in my gameplay I end up putting different like an actual couch in here instead of these just two chairs. The two chairs when I was doing my gameplay, well, not my gameplay. Is it called a gameplay? What do people call it? Like wait, oh, test build test. I don't know, what is it called. You guys know what it's called. But when I was testing the build, play test. Ah, yes, that's what it's called. It's called a play test. See, I'm learning. But while I was play testing this build, yeah, these two chairs just weren't working for me. It just was really weird. That's one thing I'll always do while I'm play testing. Of course, like adjusting chairs that the Sims can't fit in, or if things need to be adjusted. And not much needed to be adjusted in this build, I don't think. But I definitely like those two chairs were getting on my nerves, and so I ended up switching them for I think the couches that I use on the first floor in the living room. I just end up using the same couches up here. Just for some consistency, I don't think it's that bad to have the same couches throughout the house if it looks good. And sometimes it just looks good and you don't need all the variety. Um, but yeah, ooh, what do I tell you guys? But yeah, you can see this room is starting to come together. It's mostly, again, it's just a hallway. It's a really decadent hallway, but like maybe like a second living room. Here I am moving my camera around a lot, excuse it. But you know, we make it through. But I did again go into the French eclectic style. French eclectic, like look it up, Google it. It's like you have you have like a leaning mirror on the wall, huge leaning mirrors. You have like books hanging around and uh, like it can be on the minimalist side, it can be on the maximalist side, but you just have like, see right here, you have these paintings just hanging around, like just like leaning against a wall. You always have like a seating area, like a nook, a reading nooks in like every other corner. Like if I or when I become a like interior designer, like French eclectic will be and is already like my go-to for styling purposes. I because it's like sometimes like modern like and so like minimalist modern like looks, it's like it just looks cold. It looks like you can't touch it at all, or like you'll mess something up if like one thing's off. Whereas French eclectic is kind of like just throw the blanket over there and like it still looks like it's part of it. Like people come in my apartment and they're like, yeah, it's like my apartment's on the minimalist side of um of French eclectic, but it's not so minimalist that there is like no life. And but like in my like I have but every but I'm also a big fan of Marie Kondo, my girl Marie Kondo, and I will always say, get like, if you don't need it, get rid of it. It's kind of hard to do when it comes to Fringe Eclectic because you just like want like stuff, like cute stuff. But on the Marie Kondo side, actually a lot of the stuff that I have are like, and the decorations that are just kind of laying about are things that I actually use. So like I have film cameras that I've actually built a shelf behind. It's like a wall. I think it's called board and batten. I made a board and batten wall, and then I put a shelf on top of it. So on that shelf is I have like leaning leaning frames on it and little candlesticks that I do light and use to, mood lighting. And then in the frames, some are empty. That's symbolic. But then in and also like feng shui, you're supposed to have like empty space in feng shui just so to kind of welcome more life in, I suppose. And but then in some of the frames are like uh, an homage to some of the Broadway shows that I've done. They're not like, oh my God, I was in this Broadway show, but they're kind of like subtle hints that I was in a Broadway show and so I have those up there. I have one of my favorite paintings is actually based in Paris. It is called un dimanche après-midi à l'île de la Grande. It's basically like it's Sunny in the Park. If you know the musical Sunny in the Park with George, it's the painting from Sunny in the Park with George. It's one of my favorite musicals, and I love this painting. But it's right above my bed. And then I have I have some film cameras that I have, and so they are on the shelf. And so like when I use them, I take it off the shelf to go shoot, and then I put them back in their place. I have a little plant. I have like two little trophies. We won. I was in New York on Broadway, and we won Best Ensemble Awards. We won two of them, so they're up there. Um, and then I also did a show called Matilda the Musical, and I have a drawing of like one of the outfits that I wore in the show that's up there. But yeah, like I have that. I have like like plants on the windowsill. I have like my guitar is like hanging up on a wall. I have lots of vinyls, and so the vinyls are around the apartment as well. Yeah, like I have like a little step stool that's kind of like decoration, but I actually use it to get into the the like the shelves that are really high. Um, but yeah, I have lots of things going around. But as you saw, I finished up the restroom. That's the only restroom or bathroom that you'll see me decorate in this build because they just get repetitive. And so, but I'm going into the little walk-in closet. It's not as grand as I had another plan for a walk-in closet, but I ended up putting it on this side. I just thought it just looked better. The other, as you saw, there's the bathroom. Like it's a literal bathroom. It's only like you can only take a bath and a shower in that room. I did not show where the toilet room I guess is. But that's on the opposite side of this. I was going to make that I guess wash closet. No, is it a wash closet? I don't know. But it just has a toilet in it. It just has a toilet and a sink in that room, and then so that whoever you can use the restroom over there, and then you have an entire other room to take a bath and take your shower. Um, but yeah, this is the walk-in closet, and I think it's the only walk-in closet in this build. I wouldn't say surprisingly, but they're just yeah, like it's a big build, but there wasn't that much room when it came to decorating. So here I am just adding things in here, adding lots of purses that we got from the Coach pack that came out. Well, I don't really think it was a pack, but it was more of a, I guess, just free content that we got, which is really interesting. In my other build that I did, the Parisian corner apartment, I actually used. That's actually the first time I actually used that stuff or even looked at it. Because there is an apartment in there that I've made basically for someone like Emily in Paris, the TV show. Um, and I use the coach purses around because she's like, a little like a in my game instead of like she's like a social media girl from America. Um, and so I have like the purses around, and I also have the coach chest that you can actually use as what is it? You can use it as a dresser and change clothes in. I thought that was like a really great way to use it, but that's in there too. And it was kind of fun to in her social media career to go in and change into like a random coach outfit, and she can go walk around and take pictures of herself. And it was like a cute little gameplay, like nothing crazy, but we love free stuff in The Sims. We love free stuff in The Sims. But as you saw, I finished up the closet in there, and now I'm going in and frantically trying to clutter up these what are they called? Chimneys. Is that what they're called? Something like that. Um, but there's a little glimpse of the outside. I found sometimes it's so hard to find that. Sometimes I really want to find that clock, and I can see it in debug, but I never know where it is, and I just have to type in clock in French, and then there it was. Like I just sometimes just never know how to find it. Anyways, but here I am going into the mat. I think we've stopped calling it that. We are in the primary. That's what it called. You can't. I also do real estate, and so we're getting away from calling it the master suite because of the implications that come with that. It's so we're starting to call it the primary suite. So here we are in the primary suite, and I've used the bed from Business and Hobbies, I believe. I think it's from Business and Hobbies. Again, like yeah, it's kind of a big bedroom, but it ends up like not being like too crazy big, or like I don't know. I think it's a nice sized bedroom. Like they have this entire wing. They have two like this entire like they have the hallway, they have the all like the toilet and the bathroom and the closet. Like it's a really big primary suite. Like that's a big suite. And they also have like access to this outdoor area, like this private outdoor area. Like that's a pretty nice primary suite if you ask me. And I was really happy to have this. The outdoor space is probably like I am so happy that I thought to put that there. I really enjoyed. Here I am coming outside too. Like it's one of my favorite places to be like while I was playing, like play testing this build. the view from the chairs out to the mountains from this balcony is very beautiful. And so yeah, I'm very happy with this part of the build. Like, it's so romantic, especially since I'm trying to, like, turn this part, well, turn the old part of Windenburg into Paris. Well, most of this part of even the more modern part is more Parisian. And then I believe that the, like, countryside I'm gonna make more Scottish, and then I think the island I'm gonna go more of that one island, Irish. I want to make it more of like an Irish, make like Irish castle over there. But yeah, here I am on the balcony, just trying to figure out what I wanted to do. The Again, Bjorn is part of the garden club, and so I wanted to make sure that he could do a little bit of gardening here, and Clara could come out and do some tanning because Clara, she's like a power in the powerhouse group. So I wanted her to come out here and get a good tan with her, whatever. Like, she's working out, so that I feel like people who work out also tan. So I wanted to have, yeah, a nice little place that they could like go outside and relax and just like enjoy being there without having to like go to a park. And yeah, I mean, they've got lots of money. They've got a two-floor apartment. Why not have an outdoor space? I did end up removing the speaker that's out there. Sometimes, like, because when it rains a lot, it rains a lot in Windenburg, and the speaker, I forget, breaks if it's outside. So I removed the speaker from outside. So it's gonna be a little quiet evening out there. I guess I could have put an outdoor speaker. I might actually go back in before I upload it and put an outdoor uh, speaker that goes into the wall, depending on how it looks. I actually there I built a rooftop bar in 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 one of these Haussmannian buildings, because again, this is one of three Haussmannian buildings I've built. I will in the first, I guess, the because this is the third. The first one, it's primarily in my game it's a cafe, but it also works as a library. It works as a bar, a lounge, and a restaurant. It all and a vet. And there's also a store over there, like a Coach store and a like a little juice store as well. And but yeah, I built a rooftop bar over there, and I kind of did a similar thing with like the flowers going over the door as I did in this build. But in that build, I put speakers on the wall outside, so you had music out there because it is a bar. And but I used different flowers. Those flowers were big enough to cover the speakers. These, I don't know if they will. Like, I just don't want it to. I never want things to be ugly. So, and I'm not even too sure. Like, they can, like, Sims will listen to music and tan simultaneously. I'm not too sure they do. So, like, but I might. We'll see. We'll see how it looks. Um, but yeah, here I am coming back into the primary suite, and you can see it's pretty much all come together at this point. I think on this side, I just put like paintings against the wall ultimately. And another thing that you'll see in French eclectic style is like you'll have plants and or like statues, and they're like holding the doors open. And so that's just something that I wanted to do in this build as well, just to give the build more life. And here I am just moving the camera around all crazy and just adding a rug in here in the hallway, and that pretty much finishes out that sector. But here I am now going into Sophia's room. She has, yeah, this is pretty much it. She doesn't have like a walk-in closet or anything. She's I think I mean, she shares this wing with her little sister, and then there's also a bathroom, which I do not show. The bathroom, there is actually no bath. It's just a shower. The bath was just too much. It just didn't look good, so I just went with a shower for these two. They're both old enough for just a shower. And so a shower is what they have received. But yes, here I am. Oh, Yeah, this bed is from the Love Struck expansion pack, I do believe. And yeah, I just pretty much came in here and used um the same chimney as her parents, and just coming in, and here I am picking out a guitar because she is she's like a musical prodigy, and so I wanted to make sure that she had like musical instruments, and again like a piano downstairs so she can practice for whatever her dreams may be. But again, she's a part of the models, so I wanted to give her just to show her fashionable side. You know, maybe she's gonna be a pop star. I wish that you could have that in The Sims. Like I know we have get famous, but you mostly get you can't get famous by being a pop star. You have to be famous by. I mean, you could be a musician. You can write music. So that's probably what she'll end up being like doing is like being a songwriter and getting residuals from her songwriting. And so, you know, like a Taylor Swifty moment, I guess. Um, but yeah, I wanted to give her, yeah, just to show again her fashion side because she's part of the models. I wanted to give her like all these options for clothing whenever her or the group gets together on this lot and they want to play around and change and things like that. I was going to use this guitar case I think that we got from the Machino uh, stuff pack, the Machino or kit, whatever it was. I was going to use that because it was a guitar case, but it just didn't. I just didn't like the look of it, and so when it comes to the look of things, the look is so important to me. And so I end up, what am I doing here? I just keep moving the camera around a lot, and I just don't know. I will work on it, guys. I will work on not moving the camera as much, but I'm just so used to playing the game without people watching, and I'm seeing how um, like interesting it is to look at myself build. But I will work on it. This is my third build that I've ever done. There was a lot of time going into this build, a lot of hours. I can't even remember how many hours in this build alone, but can you imagine like all three of these buildings, the amount of time it took to make them all like look good and to make sure they were all like three sister buildings. I thought it was so important on in this shot. Oh, and I'll mention that in the second building, which is where I have the crazy horse, which is I want all the models to be a part of. There is a theater, like a cinema in Paris. It's pretty big. It's called the Rex, and so I took that as inspiration, and I built basically a cinema, and I turned it into a gym, a big gym over there. And there's also the other side of it is a museum, and you can go over there, and you can go to painting class, you can have pottery class, and I've used the new lot type that we got from the Royalty and Legacy pack that is like a nightclub during the evenings, but then a museum, gym, or a library during the day. There is no library over there, but you have the museum, you have the gym, and then like around like 9 p.m., like a notification comes up, and then everybody changes into their club clothes, and then they go down to the cabaret space, and the DJ comes, and it's so fun to watch them all go enjoy their time, like evening at the Crazy Horse. And so I'm going to upload all three of those simultaneously so you have all three of them. In my last video that I put up literally at the same, like I put it up right at the same time I'm uploading this. So you have both of them because I wanted to upload the builds to the gallery, but I didn't think it's fair. I did like do one at a time. I figured I'd just do all three so you would have all three of them to play. But um, here I am. Just this space over here just looks a little bland, and I wanted to just fill it up with a little, with a few plants. I don't know why I put plants in here. I don't think she's really a plant girl, but we're putting plants in here just to make it look good. And so that's what's gonna happen, and that's what I did, and that's what you're gonna get. And and then I end up adding some shoes over here as well. But yeah, like all three of these builds took, yeah, it took a lot of hours. And when I started building the shell for this, I that's when I decided to see if I could record, and turns out I could. And so, because my last computer would not let me record and play The Sims simultaneously, but I got a new computer. I spilled coffee in my computer, and yeah, and I'm in a way happy that I did, and I'm happy that I booked cats so I can pay for it. And one thing I also did, I kind of in oh in the I so the one reason why I want the countryside to be a Scottish is because I saw this beautiful picture of this cottage, this Scottish estate, and I basically rebuilt it in The Sims, and it took me so long. It took me so long, so many hours, and I built that for the Fires family. And I think I put like some cheerleading stuff in there, like as if she was a cheerleader. At Siobhan, as if Siobhan was a cheerleader, and so, and like her, oh my gosh, her closet is so big, like her entire suite. I think her Yeah, her entire like she has her own like restroom. She has a huge walk-in closet. Like she has basically an entire wing to herself. Like that house is so big. Like everybody has their own wing. Like they have horse stables over there. They like it's so big. It is such a big build, and I'm very proud of it. I think it's just one of the prettiest builds I've ever done. Like I love the landscaping that I did over there. Like the outside is really nice. It was so gratifying to finish the build from like the initial like thought and seeing this building, and I think I saw it on like Instagram or something. I don't remember. Then I looked it up, and then just trying to get the shell right, and then going in and being able to, I had to do my own floor plan for it, and then then there's the hard part of decorating each and every room, and trying not to repeat myself, but trying to make every room functional, and trying to like make each one like fit a personality. Like it's, I think in that build there's also like a room for a butler and also a guest room. So it was a lot. There's a gym over there. It's yeah, it was there's a pool, there's oh my God, a greenhouse. It it like there's yeah, it was a huge build. But I think that, I don't, is it a 64 by 64 lot? I don't remember how big it is. But yeah, so I found that Scottish estate, and so that I'm pretty sure that the rest of those builds are going to be like that part of Wittenberg is going to be more Scotland inspired, because I don't think we have that in The Sims particularly. And we just got the Royalty and Legacy pack, which is more Italian. And I know Wittenberg is supposed to be more, I guess, maybe German, but I vibe more with Paris, not gonna lie. And but here we are. You saw I finished off Sophia's room, and now I'm going, and this is the smallest bedroom, but we get this little bedroom for Elsa, the child in this family. And so I've given her a little bunk bed, and I come in, and it's small. This room is small but mighty. But yeah, I'm definitely more inspired to build in the Parisian style, and not like German is so like, I mean, they're kind of similar, but like it's just like more. I've been to Germany, I've been to Berlin. It's just not my town. It's not my town, man. It's not my town. Like I went to Hamburg, and I enjoyed Hamburg more than I did Berlin. Maybe I just need to take another trip. I don't know. I just went, and it just was like, it just I also I went out one night, and maybe this is also a bit of it. My phone got stolen. I got pickpocketed. My phone and my wallet were like gone, and then somehow I ended up getting them back. Do not ask me how, but like I found my wallet like on the floor, I found my wallet on the floor, like all the money had been taken out of it, like all my euros. I didn't have much in there, but my euros were taken out. And then I was like, all right, Darius, it's time for me to leave. So I'm like checking my pockets. I feel my phone. I feel my keys. I feel my wallet. I'm leaving. And the whole thing is like, you're not supposed to take any of those into a club. But I did because I'm American. I didn't want I didn't want to leave my stuff anywhere. And then right when I'm starting to leave, I have my hands on my pocket, and then I feel my phone slip out of my pocket. And I was like, you've got to be kidding me. And I basically went berserk. I went berserk, and then somebody gave me back my phone, and they were like, "Oh, I'm sorry." And I'm like, "You're sorry? You're sorry? Like you're sorry for stealing my phone? That's crazy. But you also wouldn't have been able to use it because it's locked. So you might as well just give it back, stupid." Anyways, as you can see, there's lots of little science things in here. I ended up changing these little. I mean, I thought she was too old for those pictures I put up, so I ended up putting. I put up this thing that we got from not Gibby Point, the Adventure Awaits expansion pack. I figured like she goes to like science summer camp or something, and then I end up putting like picture frames on the other, so she could put up pictures of her and her friends from summer camp and some drawings. I built a community center. I feel like she goes to the community center a lot, and I think I'm gonna have the community center be the hangout place for the Adventure Awaits group. I'm also going to be building a. I'll be uploading that very soon to the gallery, and as I edit the video for the community center. And then I have also, I'm going to be making like on the boardwalk, going to be doing like something like a boardwalk, like a place with a Ferris wheel and things like that. So I might have that be a place where the Adventure Awaits crew hangs out. We'll see. We'll see how it ends up turning out. I can't say it before I actually build it, but I have an idea, and that's what I want to do. But yeah, this is basically me finishing up this room. And as you'll see, I think I go in the hallway and just make some edits in there. But that's pretty much the build. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. Thank you for sticking with me for however long this video is. Please go to the gallery. My gallery ID is DFoshiz. Again, that is DFoshiz. And yeah, check out this one. Check out the other two builds that I did in the sister buildings. And please enjoy the screenshots. And I will talk to you soon. Bye, guys.